year, our network comes out with the CNBC Disruptor 50 list. It's a collection of revolutionary startups that are reinventing entire industries. Even though these companies aren't publicly traded, many of them have eyes on coming public in the future. Many others can tell us a great deal about what the future looks like. Which brings me to Chime Financial. This is number 22 on this year's Disruptor 50 rankings. Here's a financial technology company that partners with regional banks to provide fee-free mobile banking services. Okay, now it's very much aimed at people who've been, I think, left behind by the current banking system. So tonight I want to take a closer look with Chris Britt. He's the co-founder and CEO of Chime. To learn more, Mr. Britt, welcome to Mad Money.
Thanks, Jim.
Okay, so when I was looking at all the background information, what it seemed to me was that you're taking care of the huge number of people in this country who don't have much, and paycheck to paycheck is their watchword.
Yeah, approximately 2/3 of America lives paycheck to paycheck. And so we tried to create a new model for consumer banking that doesn't rely on fees and help this segment of the population with their most acute needs, which is really around short-term credit extension, credit building, and avoiding fees. And it's really working well.
Now, I would say that most of these people, from my own experience, aren't really wanted at the banks because they can't make enough money off these people.
Yeah, look, 80% of Americans make under $100,000 a year. So it's a huge segment of America. About 150 million people live paycheck to paycheck. So it's a massive segment. And I think if you think about how banks go to market, how they make money in checking account business, it's really a NIM-based business model. What's required for NIM? You need consumers with large deposits, and you need people that are creditworthy in a world that the credit box for who they're going to give loans and credit to is becoming smaller and smaller.
Right.
So we've taken a totally different approach, and we partner with these banks to give fee-free checking accounts, and we don't rely on fees. We really monetize the relationships through transactions. So when the Chime member uses their card for everyday purchases, in our case, over 40 transactions a month on average, we're able to monetize that way. And what's great about it, it's very aligned with the consumer. We only monetize the relationship if they keep us top of wallet and think of us every day.
Well, what I also like is that you've got this plan where people can access their money a little earlier than everybody else, because everyone else is so, these brick and mortar outfits, all they want to do is try to make as much money every little way they can, including the float. That is not what you do.
Yeah, they make a lot of money from fees. We help with short-term liquidity in a variety of ways. We were the first company to offer 2-day early access to your paycheck when you get direct deposit. We also were the first to offer up to $200 of fee-free overdraft. And now we're launching a new product called MyPay. And with MyPay, consumers that sign up for a Chime account, you can sign up right now. We just are launching the wait list for this new product right now. All of your viewers can come on.
No, I'm glad you're not seeing our show. I appreciate that.
So you sign up, you get direct deposit of your paycheck. And then if you think about the way payroll works in America, about 70% of Americans get paid every 2 weeks. And so the question is, if you've worked 2, 3, 4 days in the week, why should you lend your employer the money that you've earned? Right. So now with this Chime MyPay service, anytime into the pay period, you can click access to that paycheck on demand up to $500. There's a totally fee-free option that you get access to in 1 to 2 days, usually in 24 hours. Right. And then we also have an option where you can get it instantly for $2, so less than the price of a out-of-network ATM fee.
Okay, when I go to where my mom grew up, in a tough neighborhood now of Philadelphia, every other block is a check cashing outfit. Now, I can't see why you would ever have to go to a check casher if your bank's there.
Well, we'd love to get rid of the payday lending.
Do you regard
business.
that, by the way, do you regard that as antediluvian? It doesn't belong anymore,
well,
right?
We see this as a totally different product, right?
Okay,
we aren't just doing a one-off transaction to someone. We're in the business of developing primary account relationships. In other words, people that get ongoing direct deposit.
Right.
And when we do that, we're able to take risks on people that otherwise may not deem to be, worth taking a risk on by some traditional institutions. And we don't have to charge high fees because we're able to monetize the relationships through this primary direct deposit relationship that we enjoy with the majority of our members actually use us in that way.
Well, how do you help people save? What do you teach them? What's available to them?
Well, we have a whole host of financial education services. We have games to help them. We do a lot of culturally connected social posts. People don't want to be lectured. They don't want to read textbooks, but we have tools to help people save money. automatically. And of course, getting your finances right starts with avoiding fees. So that's sort of foundation.
Okay, so let's go over games, because we know after what's happened with the GameStops and the AMCs, we don't mean that kind of game.
Like educational.
Right, I want to be clear, because
testing your knowledge.
Someone might say, oh yeah, he's just a gamify and that kind of thing. So when I open an account, I do want to have my direct deposit goes to you. Right.
It actually goes to one of our 2 partner banks.
Right. Okay.
So, we offer FDIC insured, Regi protected checking accounts. This isn't going to some phantom pool that is unregulated. Everything is regulated by the OCC through our bank partners. The money stays in those accounts. It's essentially, think of it as like a tri-party arrangement. Consumer signs up for an account with Chime and one of our partner banks. All the money stays in there, and they get these short-term liquidity and credit building benefits that we offer.
Okay, I've got to ask about it. Crypto, it just doesn't seem to be part of the operation. Should it be?
We're not focused on crypto.
But what happens if
I think there are applications for crypto. I think around storage of value, particularly in
that's what I think.
In certain markets, probably international money movement and so forth. For our members, some of them certainly do trade in crypto. A lot of our members are still getting. They're still early in the process of developing their investment plan. So we don't want to start with crypto as kind of the lead in that area.
No, in that sense, I get it.
But I'm always
I'm always very concerned that there are people who start at another firm that's for young people, and they fizzle. And now it's gone right for now, but it's destroyed a lot of people. Yeah. So I think you're actually being prudent. I don't think you're being condescending. I think you're being prudent.
Yeah, I have respect for a lot of those companies too. But when we do launch investing services, which we don't have yet, we will likely start in a regular rhythm of investing into a low-cost ETF.
Okay.
We're setting up an IRA
That's what
and those sort of things. We don't have ambitions of creating a trading app.
All right, very good. Please don't. Anyway, so Chris, I've got to ask you, I know that it's a sensitive issue, but any plans within the next, say, year to be public?
Oh, we're excited about the prospects to be a public company.
Good.
We don't have plans in the immediate future, so it's not a 24 thing, but it is not too far out in the distant future.
Well, good. We
can definitely see that on the horizon.
I like to encourage outfits that help the regular people, because that's what we all started as.
That's what you do.
Regular people. Anyway, don't still be regular. That's Chris Britt. He's co-founder and CEO of Chime, number 22 on the CNBC Disruptor 50 list. And as you can tell, I'm very excited about it. You can get the full list of CNBC Disruptors at cnbc.com/disruptors. Please don't miss disruptor Gecko Robotics tonight on Last Call. Mad Money's back after the break.
When we return, master the markets one stock at a time. The lightning round is up next.